I put a radio in there, but who needs a radio when you got 6-inch straight pipes? All right, good morning and welcome back to another episode of Twinstick Garage, where we're gonna continue the what seems like a never-ending restoration on the old '79 Peterbilt 359. Got some, I got to finish up some huck bolts. I got some new lights for the top there. We're going to put the visor on, and then I've also got some insulation, some new insulation. It's just kind of the tin foil covered foam insulation that I'm going to tape in there, because the Neuco stuff that I was using I don't think is going to stick to the inside of the fiberglass roof cap. So we'll give that a try and see how that works. Got to get this the insulation finished up in preparation for my my new interior panels that are being made up. And talking to the guys at the day cab company, they figure it'll be ready in about a month. So I got to get the truck ready for that so we can put those in. And then I'm just going to keep, picking away at all the little jobs. I'm going to go for a clean look on the back here. So I'm actually going to remove these handles, and then we'll just huck bolt the holes. And what else? I got some new rocket lights, 7 new lights for the cap. So we'll put those on and wire them up. And I'll try and show a little more work. Watching in the comment section, everyone's saying let's see some more work and less talk. So I'll try and do a blend of both and keep everyone interested and everyone happy. And then once we finish this truck, we'll get going on the old 900A. If you saw in the previous episode of Project Snowman, brought it home last weekend. Gonna hold off working on it until this truck's done. But I was thinking about it, and everyone's asking me, how much time, how much money do you have into the Peterbilt? And let's just say it's a lot. A couple years worth of Saturdays working here and there on it, so lots of hours. And you don't want to know how much disposable income I put on that truck. So what I'm planning to do with the Kenworth is I'm going to keep a running tally. So at the end of each episode, I'll just have a total number of hours that I put into it and total number of dollars, so you can kind of keep track and see what these projects end up costing. But I still say it's worth it, because at the end of the day, you got some real cool iron. So with that, we'll get started. I'll get this truck fired up, put it in the garage, and then we'll get going on some of the projects. All right, I figured I'd start with something fun. So as I mentioned, I went and picked up some new lights. Now these aren't the classic ones, but they're the LED style with the reflectors to match the marker lights I've got on the air cleaners. So again, this truck's more of a custom truck. I'll keep the Kenworth a little more classic. But I had to drill the holes out a little bigger for the wires. And I hate drilling holes in the roof, but necessary evil, I guess, to get these things lit up. Now originally I was just going to kind of have these mocked in place, and I figured we'd remove them when we painted the truck. But then I'd have to cut the wires, so I was thinking, you know what? Let's just seal the threads and put a little bit of gasket maker underneath around the wires as well, and we'll just mask them off when we paint the truck. So I figured that'll work. So I'll get rolling on that. Now I got a new tripod, so I'm able to just leave that thing set up there while I work. Yeah, so we'll just put a little gob in there. Of course, you can't see what I'm doing. So just a little gob around the wires, and we'll put maybe a little dollop in each of the holes for the threads. And that should seal it up. Of course, we don't want any more water coming in the truck. Okay. Now there's little gaskets on here as well. People are saying, like I mentioned, they want more work and less talk. So here you go. Probably do that by hand first. So that's interesting. The nutserts that I had, the LF Truck Center that I bought the cap off of, they put these on there, and they measured them properly for these lights. So the holes are lined up on the light itself, but I don't know if this is by designs or not, but the holes on the rubber boot here don't necessarily line up. If you line that guy up, she's still about a 1/2 inch short. I mean, you can see it doesn't line up at all. So I don't know if these things are supposed to be stretched out, but you got to kind of stretch them like that for the holes to line up. So again, maybe that's meant to kind of be tight against the roof to try and keep water out, but that's not going to be as much fun as I thought. So I figured out maybe it's just the cold Alberta temperature that have shrunk these things, so I can kind of stretch them out, and then they finally do line up, so don't need to drill them out. So that makes it a little easier. So I'll just stretch them out and keep putting these things on. Yeah, so the more you do something, the better you get at it. So by the time I get this 7th roof light on, I'll be a pro. So everyone's commenting that you know, you need a bigger shop and you shouldn't have your truck outside and all that stuff. So, and that's true, I do, and I would like to build a big 40 by 60 shop in the back corner of my yard there, and maybe someday. And thinking about it further, I'm probably not going to paint the Peterbilt, and I know everyone's going to be disappointed at that, but I was just thinking, investing 10 or 15 grand into bodywork and paint into this truck, and then to have it sit outside, I don't know if that's a smart or wise investment. So I may just, and again, my plans always seem to change, but I may just leave this truck in its kind of rougher format until I can afford to build a big shop. So we'll see. But the one nice thing is that Kenworth out there, that truck's about 6 feet shorter than the Peterbilt. And this truck's just a hair under 30 feet long. And my garage is 30 feet deep. So the Kenworth, like I said, is about 6 feet shorter, so it's only 24 feet long. So I'm pretty confident that I can actually shoehorn that truck in when I start to do the restoration, and actually be able to close the door, and then I'll just stay indoors with that truck from start to finish. So I can take it apart. It can be on jack stands on the concrete floor instead of out in the mud, and that'll just be a better environment. Maybe I'll put a furnace in this truck in this garage for next winter and insulate it. And then I can just carry on with that restoration without having to go in and out every Saturday. So I think that'll work out a lot better. But yeah, maybe someday I can get a shop that's big enough for this truck, and then it can stay inside, because it's such a crime to have a restored truck sitting out in the snow. So, well, as practice as I was getting, still struggling. Get these darn things lined up. There we go. There. Nice. But I do appreciate all the comments and all the support, and it seems everyone's enjoying following along with this restoration. So, like I've said before, as long as everyone still enjoys watching, I'll keep making these videos. There. Tight, but not too tight. That looks good. There. How's that look? I like that. Now we got to get these sweet lights wired up. Well, I guess that's Alberta for you. What started out as a nice morning turned into a lovely heavy snowfall. Man, do I ever need a shop. But at least I can get half the truck in. If I was still working outside like I was the previous 2 years, we'd probably have to call the game on account of snow. Oh, I couldn't resist starting the old Kenworth. Oh, she's smoky when she's cold. Oh, I can't wait to get going on this old girl. Loyal old truck starting in the snow. So a little more rework. For whatever reason, the visor doesn't fit on there. The brackets aren't in the right spot. I don't know if they're the wrong brackets or what. Because I used the huck bolt or the holes and hucked them in there. So it's not lining up. So I got to modify the brackets slightly to lower them down and so the visor will fit square. So just to explain what I mean when this thing didn't line up. So, I mean, I have to believe that this was designed to be in the huck bolt hole. So that's what I used. But when I go to mount this thing on the truck, so if we set it, it's hard to do one-handed. So if we set them on the blind mounts, it's not even close. Okay, whoops, slipped off. Something like that. It's not even close on the side. So what I'm thinking is these mounts. Now this drop visor I bought is from Lesco, and somebody had returned it because it had been opened. So I wonder if they tried to mount it on their truck and they couldn't because these mounts weren't quite right. Okay, so now we're making some progress. So I actually bolted it together and threw it on the truck, and I just temporarily bolted these in. So these ones are close. They'll actually work mounted where they're supposed to be, and it lines up nice with the curve of the door frame. So that's how it's supposed to be. But then check this out. Look at that gap. I mean, these brackets aren't even close, and there's just no way to move them in. So I think what I need to do is I'll take these brackets off and get new ones made up that actually extend an extra inch and make it all the way to the roof cap. So I could see why this thing was returned and why I got such a good deal on it, because it's not quite fitting the way it's supposed to. But I think that still looks pretty good. So we'll temporarily tack that in place until we get those new brackets made up. Oh, here, got a noisy air compressor. Oh, working like a charm. I should work at Peterbilt building new trucks. Oh, wow. Awesome. Okay, on to the next job. So, a couple years ago when I first got this truck, this door handle was buggered, so I got a new door handle, and of course I just had a rivet gun. So now I got the huck gun. Before I send it back, I'm gonna drill these out, and then we'll put some new hucks in there. Oh, those come out easy. Heck, a lot easier than the huck bolts. Nice soft aluminum. Whoop. Take a little ring off. Easy peasy. Okay. Look at that, I got 3 left. Perfect. Oh, man. Yeah, So every time I look at this thing from the outside, I've always hated that they were just rivets and not hooks. Oh, are you going to be a pain here? It's going to be right in the way. Oh well. We'll just move it up. Okay. Fair line. Oh, I love that. Okay. Oh, I might just have to buy me one of these guns. They're so handy. They're so handy. Show you what it looks like. See? Nice. Matches the original ones. Cool. Okay, on to the next project. So we're going to do the huck bolts on the fenders. So this is a 3/16 bit that I was using, or end, for the for all these smaller huck bolts. So now I'll change it over to the quarter, and we'll drill out some holes, and we'll get those put on there. Finish up with this gun. All right. So these guys are a little beefier, but they're the pretty much same deal. A little bigger collar. Okay. Okay, let's give this a try. That is so much fun. And look at that. Beauty. Sucks it right on there. So these fenders are obviously off a different truck. I think they're off a 379. And I still need to drill the hole to put the light on. I'm still, the marker light, and then I'm still contemplating if I'm going to put a signal light on the fender. I might, just to kind of keep the classic 359 look. But these just happen to be a darker color, but I have to say they're growing on me, and I kind of like the look of that. So what I might do with this truck is go with the same metallic blue that's on the sleeper, and then do the fenders and the roof caps black. So something different, but I kind of like the look of that. So as I mentioned, I want to delete these handles. I know they're practical, and if I had steps here, they'd be good to grab onto to get onto the deck plate that'll eventually be here, but I kind of like a cleaner look, so I'm going to take them off. And I'm contemplating adding more lights, like maybe one on each side and having 4 across, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We'll just drill out these rivets. There we go. Drill out the top ones. On the inside and put the collars on and break them off. Okay. Hope this reaches is in here. A little cozy, but we'll make it work. Oh, that is so mint. You could basically, with this gun, take apart the whole truck, all the panels, and put all new ones on if you wanted to. And there you go. Perfect. So I see another project I'm going to need to do is to paint the walls of the sleeper down here. So what I might do is just take the wooden floor out and then just spray paint all this. But it's funny, you always discover other people's handiwork. Now look at this big ball of electrical tape. That's just beautiful. Of course, I only use electrical tape as band-aids. These guys use it for wiring, so we'll fix that up, and yeah, we'll finish putting the hooks on this side, and we'll be done. So I just found a bag of some extra fittings. So these are the press-on fittings that I used with the special hose that's designed for these. So remember, I put these on for all the hoses behind the dash, and I'll do the same thing on the Kenworth. But there you go. They're green line, 1/4 inch female swivel. So there's the part number if you're interested. These things are really slick because you can just cut the line to whatever length you want and just put a little bit of oil on there and just give them a push and you're good to go. Santa, if you're listening, I want one of these for Christmas. They are just awesome. I guess if you're going to restore a truck, you have to pretty much have one of these. I'll do this with one hand. Look at that, like it came from the factory. Okay, so just trying to finish up all the things I need a hot gun for. So I took these snorkels off. They were originally blue, or I had them painted blue before. I wanted just to go black so they don't really stand out. And then we're going to get these hook bolted in. Get it through. There it goes. Little persuasion. Yeah, that's looking good. These hooks will look a lot nicer. Okay. We'll try 3 to start. Like that. Gloves and some glasses on. Okay. Still lined up. Oh, this thing is awesome. There. How's that look? Like it's from the factory. All right, let's get this mounted back on the truck. All right, a little delay of game here. Ran short of a few parts, so off to Peterbilt. Luckily, these guys are open on a Saturday. Oh, too nice for me. I like all the lights on the sleeper though. No, I can't afford it. Maybe someday. least we don't need any of that. Oh, there's always so many shiny things you can buy. I like those train horns. Nice. Stuff I don't need, but would sure look nice. So they've got this one just set up as an example of all the goodies you can put on there. Look at those sexy 8-inch pipes. They got just about every piece of chrome you can order, just to show what you can put on your Pete. Nice. So I did something a little different. I used stainless steel carriage bolts and then just sucked them in from the back side. So I think that looks a little cleaner than the old the regular bolts. So I'm happy with that. All right, one side down, one to go. And we got to clean all those fingerprints and grease off of there. So I figured before I mount the visor on the truck, I put some stickers I've been collecting. I still got a Jacobs brake sticker that I've ordered that I'll slap in there. That's pretty cool. I'm digging that. Okay, getting close. So I finished up with Ezra's huck gun. But the last huck that I'm going to put in for now we're going to try and mount this guy on the roof. Hopefully without falling off. Oh. Pretty close. Pretty close. Okay. That'll do. Okay, there you go. Visor's all mounted, roof's finished up, lights are on, and it's looking pretty sharp. Now I wanted to wire the lights, but it's getting a little late in the day, so maybe we'll save that for the next episode. Okay, I figured the best way to test out a new visor is to go out and try it in the sun. So we're going to go for a low ride. Didn't do it all. Tripod's probably just shaking. Oh, it feels good after all that work to get behind the wheel of this old girl again. Steering's still stiff, and one guy commented that it's probably the kingpins are seized. So next episode, maybe I'll jack the truck up and try and steer it all the way both ways. And we'll try and get some grease in there and see if that loosens it up. Where's my grader operator? The road's pretty snowy.